This is The Naked Patient, Beyond the Operating Room. Listen as Dr. Nicholas Howland talks with real patients about their real experiences with plastic surgery.
Welcome to the Naked Patient Podcast. I'm Dr. Nicholas Howland, and today, awesome guest today, two guests today, so it's a little unique. Mr. Scott Henry and his wife, Holly Henry, who probably deserves the first introduction.
Yes, always. That is true.
That's true. Can we redo it? This is my wife, Holly, and I'm the husband.
And then there's this guy with me.
Exactly. So you're going to have to excuse me. So we'll get to this. I've operated on both of you guys. Feel very privileged.
Lucky you. Lucky you.
Me. Yeah, definitely not lucky you.
Well, I just found out you just got an iPhone, so just yesterday. So I was like, what? I let you operate on me?
A non-iPhone
what was I
user
thinking?
on you,
That
babe.
should have been my first question with him.
That's normally is.
I don't know what to tell you. It's been sending you freaking green texts this whole time.
I was on drugs. I didn't know what was happening when I got your text.
Certainly this is fake. He wouldn't send me a green text.
Yeah.
Who is this person?
We'll take into your guys' surgeries a little bit, but first, I really actually don't know much about your guys' background. I know a little bit of Scott just because he's sort of he thinks he's like
TikTok
social media famous and all that.
You guys label me what you will. I don't.
Oh, brother.
Holly, let's start with you. Tell me you.
Yeah, I'm a women's health NP, nurse practitioner, have been for 18 years, did gynecology for 10, and then now I'm in aesthetics. I've been an aesthetic injector for the last 8 years. Have a daughter that's 13, a son that's 10. Been married to this dude for about 5 years. Only we're a blended family. He has 3 girls, and we live such a beautiful, fun life.
Yeah.
Wait, so tell me that family mix again. So Scott, you have 3 girls.
I have 3 girls, yeah.
And how old are they?
16, 11, and 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have kids.
Yeah, my daughter's 13, my son's 10, and we met when they were pretty young, 6 years ago, and so they are just so cute with each other. Yeah. They love each other so much.
And you guys don't have any of your own together?
No, I was already he tried. He's been trying to burst through that IUD.
Is
just getting in the way. Well, now I'm 44, so it's not happening, but.
She had the knowledge to remove it.
Yeah.
Gynecology.
I've kind of taken out a few of them in my lifetime.
I know. I was just yank that thing out and let's create a little us.
Weird, honey. It's not working.
No, for reals though, we just wanted to make sure our kids felt happy and safe 100%. And comfortable with the situation before we decided on that. And then we just decided that we love to travel. Yeah. And so a new baby would kind of throw a wrench in that.
Yeah.
So that's funny. I was I think when we first met, I was in that exact same position. I was living with a girlfriend who then became a fiance, and we were blending. I had 2 kids. She had 3 girls.
Oh my gosh.
Really shockingly similar
Very similar.
situations.
What are the ages of your kids?
So my daughter's 15. My son is almost 11.
Yeah.
And then when we moved in together, her 3 girls were 17, 15, and 6.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And big spectrum. And we were the same way, though. We kind of had said, listen, if kids between us become a thing, maybe we're not opposed to that, but this relationship with the kids is going to be the most important thing right off the bat.
Exactly.
And they did great. They blended awesome,
which is rare. I think that if the kids can get along and act like they're family, and we can raise them along with baby mamas and baby daddies, I think that's an amazing blend that we got very lucky. But
I think we also, it's not just luck. We definitely made it a purpose to make them our priority and make sure that we were communicating with them and they were communicating with each other. So it didn't just happen by luck, but we are lucky because we do have his ex-wife and my ex-husband are on board. Yeah. She supports my relationship with her girls.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Which is really, it's a little bit more rare.
Yeah, that's hugely important. I have a similar relationship with my ex-wife. We have very similar. This is freaking me out a little bit.
But we had so much in common.
I know. Gosh. All right, Scott, tell me your background.
Oh, she's my sugar mama kind of thing, you know?
Whatever.
She's got all these accolades, and I'm a goofy
That's so
video
not
maker.
true.
And I love it.
Oh.
I know. When did that start? So Scott is a big deal on TikTok.
Yeah.
He's also been on your television.
I've got a couple million followers 2.8 million followers on TikTok, several 100,000 on Instagram and Facebook. And I was on a TV show on CBS called Tough as Nails. I won the second season. Booyah. And
Yeah, baby.
But before all of that, I worked construction for 20 years. My dad worked construction and traveled, and since the age I could throw a hammer, I've been right there at the side by my dad's side, just working construction and traveling. And I worked my way up to be a superintendent for the largest geotechnical construction company in the world. I loved the work, but I was never home. I was gone 3 weeks minimum at a time, and then
It was awful.
and then home for 2 days.
Oh my gosh, where would you travel to?
Oh, everywhere but
Nowhere
Utah.
great.
North Dakota,
Podunk, little towns.
I loved seeing. I saw like a lot of the United States. I've done work in Barbados. And
Why are the most precious resources in the shittiest places?
I know. I'd go visit and I'd be like, well, it's a good thing I love you because there's nothing to do here.
North Dakota, Russia, United Arab Emirates. First, put all the most expensive things there.
It's so true.
Yeah, I mean, I would go and sometimes it was podunk places, but when we met, she would travel to the podunk places, and we knew right away that no matter where we were, we could get along and have fun. And that meant a lot. But yeah, anyways, out of town, I was like, or her daughter, Lottie, was like, can I download TikTok? Mm-hmm. And we were like, no, you're too young. Like,
so you hadn't even done TikTok stuff when you guys started dating?
No,
when we started dating,
no.
we didn't even know what it was. I had a couple hundred followers on Instagram, and I would post once a year.
Yeah.
And so just out of basic like boredom in a hotel room at night by myself, I start checking out this TikTok app that her daughter wants.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's kind of dumb. Then I kept scrolling through it, and I was like, well, this is kind of funny.
How long ago was this?
Almost 3 years now. It'll be 3 years in February.
Mm-hmm.
Had the pandemic started? Like, had COVID come around? Or it was right? Yeah, it was right.
The pandemic really hit in March 2020. Mm-hmm. And I downloaded it and started doing videos. First video was like Valentine's Day in February 2020. And I just started making videos. I didn't even tell Holly about it. I didn't tell anyone. I was like, this is going to go nowhere. This is just fun for me. I like lip syncing. I do a goofy dance on my job site. And
I was going to say, what were your I haven't stalked you back that far. Yeah, what were your first videos?
Him being a dork.
Being a dork.
So nothing's changed.
Exactly what I do now, except for I was on a construction site.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would wait until after work, and I would do a goofy dance like on my job site, or I would do a lip sync, or
he can memorize like any movie, like quote, any song in like 2 seconds. Like his memory's crazy.
But it didn't translate like into like school very well. It's just like movies.
I don't know
and music.
about that.
Cool.
I've got a brother who is literally the same thing. He knows like anything you say. He's like relates it to some movie quote, and we're
totally
like, oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like it, and so I just. I just kind of adapted to it really well. It was I've always been that like goofy character, just kind of wanting to do something and always performing around. Like I'm kind of a loud personality when it comes to being a group and having fun, and it just kind of.
You like attention?
I mean, what?
Doesn't sound like you. Yeah, I'm the Leo in the relationship. I should be more like that, but it's you.
It's me. It's me. So I really enjoyed the app, and by accident, I gained a following. I literally wasn't even trying for it. I never expected it. And then
I think a lot of it, people were home because we were all like in lockdown, and people were home and had more time on their hands and looking for like a comedic outlet. Yeah. And there you were.
Was there a video that you made you were like just blew up and you're like, oh, this is the thing? What was that video?
I was working in Colorado. And it was at a high school in Colorado. And I walked into the cafeteria, and there's paintings, like high school paintings, hung all around this cafeteria. And I stopped at the Alice in Wonderland painting because she's sitting on a mushroom and she's like all busty and like in this most seductive pose. And I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And so it was just a natural reaction. I had to share it. And just me being like myself, sharing this painting that I saw, thinking it was the funniest thing ever.
It was the funniest thing ever.
It was so damn funny.
Also probably how Lewis Carroll envisioned her.
Oh, yeah.
I would guess.
So I remember that one, and I posted it just thinking, this is funny, I've got to share it. And that one that was I think my first one that had like over 1 million views.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
And then what is he being for Halloween?
And then I'm going to be, this year for Halloween, I'm going to be Alice. She's going to be the Mad Hatter. I'm going to dress as that.
I love it.
Sexy Alice.
It's just a little callback.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm up to like 200 followers on TikTok.
Hey, now.
Ooh.
Watch out.
I knew there was a different aura about you. Like, you're getting a little cocky. Just kidding.
Celebrity.
I've had a hard time, like, I love the app.
Yeah.
I'm just not very proficient with it.
Do you post much?
No, I'm trying to do more.
Yeah.
Here's my problem that I deal with right now. I have a lot of content, tons of content.
I bet.
I take videos all the time. I take pictures all the time. I have no time to actually sit and curate that content.
Well,
and,
you
like,
just need someone to do it for you.
I know. And you would be like finding that person and
it's hard.
That can also catch your vision is so hard.
That's true. Yeah.
There's a local plastic surgeon here who does a lot of TikTok, and
I know who it is.
Yeah, he's a very good dancer. And so he like transitioned dancing into it, and I was like, I cannot dance. So I will not dance. So at the end of the day, no matter I think what social media platform you love and you use, it has to be you.
Totally.
And it's so obvious.
Authentic.
Yeah, it's so obvious when they're not real.
Yep.
And I've shared this before on this podcast actually. So a buddy of mine, when I first started, I was throwing anything at Instagram, right? Like stock photos of women, quotes.
Sure. Yes.
Yes. Of the day.
Yes. And my buddy's like, this is all garbage. Nobody cares. Like, this is not interesting.
Oh, great. Now I have to go erase half my Instagram.
So we're tearing all the way down.
I'm just kidding.
The best advice I ever got is take 5 things that are unique about you, and that's all you post.
I love that.
5 things. So we came up with it right there. We were at dinner or brunch, and he says, "Okay, well, here's the 5 things we came up with. You're a plastic surgeon. That's pretty unique. So you're going to keep posting some plastic surgery stuff. You're a single dad. That's new and unique.
Absolutely.
So you post that about you and your kids. You
just thirst traps.
Yes, just thirst all day. Dad bod all day.
I'm a single daddy.
I need that recorded and my ringtone to come.
Oh my gosh.
What was the other ones? I cook. I love to cook.
Oh, really?
I travel and I love to hike.
Yes.
And so that's all I post.
Yeah, I love it.
To this day, anything I post is
Falls
one of
into
those
that.
5 things.
That's great.
And that should translate extremely well over to TikTok.
Yeah, and I just need to be better at actually posting. To that platform.
Yep.
I do great on Instagram, and I just need to push it over to there.
Yep.
You do.
All right, we're done talking about you, Scott.
Okay, back to the important people.
Back to Holly.
Not much exciting stuff in this
Whatever,
corner.
this is both of your guys' lives. Actually, yeah, let's start with your surgery. So we'll dive into a little bit of surgery. So you are 2 days post-op.
I had 2 days post-op.
This was a small revision.
Yeah, I feel great.
And your original surgery, tell me about that.
Yeah, originally I came to you because I felt like my breasts were way too wide and too big for my frame. And that wasn't entirely the original doc's fault. I think I, was going through my divorce diet and I was so skinny. And then when I gained weight back, that goes right there. And that was never my goal, was to have large breasts. Like for me, my frame, and for growing up athletic and whatnot, I just never wanted that. But more importantly, I breastfed 2 kids and was feeling like they were just a hot, droopy mess.
Uh-huh.
And so I needed a little lifty-loo.
Good. And we did a little revision because things didn't quite settle. or we wanted them to.
And that's fine. Like, I honestly, because I am an injector, I think I have such a realistic expectation of what it's going to be like. And oftentimes things do take a couple times to get it right. Not always, but in my world, sometimes they do. And that's not at fault of anyone. It's just our bodies are uniquely different and they settle different and our faces settle different and things take differently. So I am A-okay with that.
Yeah. So part of this podcast is kind of like diving into the emotional side of plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Like nuts and bolts are great, right? But those podcasts are all over the place where they talk about what the surgery was and how your pain was.
Sure,
and all
right,
of that.
right.
But my main area of concern is like, did plastic surgery change your life?
Yeah, I'm so much hotter now.
Did it actually? Exactly.
Just kidding.
Like, did it actually change your life, and in what ways, or didn't it? And
I already have a great life, so it just if I can, I'm a pretty confident person. I feel like if I can just add to it, or I call it maintenance. It's just healthy maintenance, especially like aging 44 and having kids and all that. It just added to it in a sense, like it just added to my confidence. But being in a swimsuit, we did it right before Scott was hosting an event in Vegas, and I was going to be like photographed, and I was presenting an award at this show too. And I wanted to wear like a really cute dress, and I just was really insecure about my top. And so I felt a lot more confident going into that event wearing a dress and a gown, and I felt pretty.
Good.
Yeah.
Have you felt, has anybody in your life ever kind of shamed you for plastic surgery?
Online, on TikTok, but I don't care. I don't know them. And
Really?
again, like I have, but people, I mean, there's just trolls out there.
Yeah.
Stop messing with your body. Stop messing with your face. Like you're looking overdone. And that wasn't from like your surgery. It's probably more like, I haven't even done fillers on my face and I don't even know how long. It's probably just weight gain that they're seeing. But, I don't care. I just
weight gain.
I think it is because my face is fuller now because I've gained weight. But I mean, that's fine. It is what it is. I'm, like I said, I'm getting older, but I don't really care what they say though. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And I don't feel like I'm going over the top in any way. So
as a supporting husband, like just me seeing like her emotional side of it, like her not being happy with her body and wanting to change it, and there are a lot of husbands out there who would not support a plastic surgery or something like that.
Sure.
And I'm not
Hence
giving,
why
I'm
I
not,
did
I'm not
it,
giving
like,
myself
after.
props. I'm not like, hey, Scott, way to go, you're awesome. But like her going through the original one with you, and then knowing that her implants still sat high and they came in for a revision. What I want to say is like, every time we came in to see you, you addressed it and you talked about it before. Holly would just even say, do I even bring it up? Do I just settle with it? And it's like, no. Like and a cool thing is you give your number to every patient. Like we feel very comfortable talking to you, texting you and Holly was just like, no, I'm just going to tell them. But before she even had to say anything, you just came in and you were like, no, they're still sitting very high. We're going to go in, we're going to revise them. Or like, when can we do this? And like for her, I think it made her feel very confident that you actually like were aware and saw it, and you were like, okay, this is the issue. This is what we're gonna go in and revise it. So like there wasn't this whole emotional thing of her being like, I don't like them, and I'm always not.
Oh no, they're way better than what they were. Way better.
So I thought that.
I strongly believe in just doing what's right for my patients always, and I'll always do that. What was kind of cool with you guys is because I see a lot of couples come in, and the husband is either one of three things. So the first two are the most interesting because he's either really pushing plastic surgery.
Right. Okay.
Really like she needs, and those ones like the husband will actually almost speak for the wife.
Oh, okay. Ew.
And tell me like what she needs done. And I probably more than a dozen times have looked at a husband and said, I don't care what you think. This isn't about you.
I love that.
And then I turn to the wife or the girlfriend or significant other and say, let's talk about you. I've lost patients that way, for sure.
But you don't want those patients anyways.
No, not at all.
Well, the
other side is what you were kind of alluding to, or just complete opposite, where they're like, I don't think she needs anything done. And I think that comes from a place of most of the time husbands feeling like that's what they're supposed to say. Yeah,
I get that.
And then they're just genuine, authentic ones who are like, I I want whatever makes her happy.
Yeah.
And whether it's plastic surgery or not plastic surgery, I'm more concerned about what makes her happy. I don't know. I think that's the healthiest approach.
I agree. And I do understand no, you don't need anything. Like, you're beautiful the way you are. Like, no, like, I get that. Just like, I'm going to be supportive and just tell you I love you no matter how you look. But there's like, that's not how she feels.
Yeah.
And you have to really take into account of like what I feel. Like, I've made changes to myself because I'm wearing a hairpiece right now. Mm-hmm. She says to me, Scott, I met you bald. Like, who cares?
It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother her at all.
I freaking love the hairpiece, by the way. It looks. I really do.
Oh, thank you. I'm liking it because it gives me confidence. And her saying, like, I love you bald, like, it doesn't make any difference to me. It doesn't mean she's saying don't wear a hairpiece because it's going to change you. She's just saying whatever makes you feel more comfortable, I'm there to support.
I know, that's one thing about a relationship, like from the beginning, we're just like, whatever you want to do. Like, I mean, I'll ask him because he's my best friend, but like, I'm also going to do whatever I want to do too. And he knows that. So he doesn't really have a say, but I try to involve him.
Thanks, babe.
But I also know your answer. So he'll be like, I know you won't care if I choose to do anything. But
that's such a healthy way to communicate, though.
Yeah.
So I have been in relationships in the past where I've had a lot of that second husband mentality almost, where if I wanted to do something to improve myself, that person, like, if I want to lose weight or I want to work out more, I want to drink less. I've had relationships where they're like, you don't need to do that. Like, just be happy. Like, sure. I like you the way you are, and I love your body, and that's appreciated, right? And I know that comes from, at least on a surface level, a good place.
Sure.
But also, I think better communication is, okay,
this is important to me.
I love you the way you are, but let's dive into this. If this is something you want, I'm going to support it 1,000%.
For sure.
Yep. And I'm going to tell on myself a little bit. I wasn't always like this guy that was like accepting of like even like Botox or filler or plastic surgery. I was like, no, why? Like, I don't get it. I was. Like
before you met me?
Before I met you. Yeah, before I met my nurse practitioner wife, who's an aesthetic injector. I was very like, you don't need any of this. What's going on? But I've learned that it doesn't matter what I think of it. Like, it doesn't matter that well, and you also probably have realized that, like, I have a very healthy perspective on it, and most people do. It's not going to the extreme. Your whole outlook has been like making women feel more confident and giving more power to a woman. If it makes them feel more confident, more powerful, go for it. And it has nothing to do with the way I feel about like, oh, you just want to change yourself because you don't like yourself. That's very rarely the case. Mm-hmm.
I know. I think that's a very big bias that people think the only people that are getting things done are insecure women. And that's the furthest thing from the truth.
Oh, absolutely.
We are confident enough to be like, hey, if we can change it, why not? Or not even change it or add to our confidence. Like, I would say the biggest percentage of my clients are people that are already confident women.
Yeah. It takes some confidence just to walk through that door and say, hey, I want this, or tell me what you think.
Yep.
They exist. Like, there's definitely insecurities there.
Yeah.
But a lot of confidence in there.
Yeah, I think I could have gone my whole life without changing anything and been fine. But if I have the means and the support, and also, why not? It's fun.
And an amazing doctor.
Exactly. I remember
this podcast is not just pump up Dr. Howland podcast.
I know. We do think highly of you, though.
Oh, good. We get to talk about my surgery then?
Yes. Get into Scott's surgery.
Let's do it, Dave.
I have never talked about it.
I know. Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Why?
Sweating a little bit.
I haven't even heard much about it.
Yeah, I came in for the surgery and then I was like, all right, thanks, bye. I'll never talk about it again.
You were.
Yeah, talk to me about that. Talk to me about that. Let's get into it.
We're gonna talk about emotional Scott now.
Yeah.
No, I got lipo. And I
also, if you're not watching this, Scott is 6'7", 6'7",
255. I'm a big old boy.
Big old boy, very skinny. Like,
I mean, I was at one point.
Scott is very thin. You would look at Scott and say, especially with clothes on, like, no way does this guy need liposuction.
Yeah.
I'm I'm a big guy. I can hold weight. I mean, I hold most of it in my butt. Holly loves it.
Big old booty.
It is a soccer booty.
No, I've
You did 360, right? He did 360 lipo, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, 360 lipo.
100%. I have the tire, you know. I hold my weight on my gut, my love handles, and I didn't come into lipo quite understanding like what would happen. I thought, suck it all out, fat's gone forever, and I'm gonna look good, and that's it. And in my stupid head, I was like, I'll eat whatever I want. I'll never exercise again.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went.
Oh boy.
I know. And it was bad. And I even remember the questions going into it when you were like, are you at like the ideal weight that you want to be at?
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, no, I'm about 35 pounds over. But I was like, yeah, just suck all the fat out and I'll be at my ideal weight. So
I'm not saying, oh boy, about your mindset. This is like, oh boy, how did I prepare him so poorly?
You didn't, because I prepared him to, like, he's a stubborn guy.
This is all
Don't even think that you and I did not, and more so at home, tell him.
And in my mind, I'm like, this'll kick me in the butt. This'll kick off my, like, being healthy again, and it'll give me, like, the jump that I need. And I wasn't in a great mind space to go into it. But like initially I was like, this is amazing. Like, oh, I sucked all this fat. Like, wow. And I didn't upkeep it. I didn't work out. I didn't eat healthy.
And there it goes to people who say it's just an easy out. It's not.
It's not an easy out.
So is this your consultation for round 2?
Yeah.
I'm actually.
No, he's on day 4.
I'm on day 4 of 75 hard.
Are you really?
So I'm actually gonna do it like.
Congrats.
And he's doing great.
I do know at the end of it, if I can't get rid of that little pooch, that's when I would come in and be like, hey, I've worked my butt off. I'm down to the weight that I want to be at.
Yeah.
I still got this tire. That's where I would see. And I
the stubborn areas. Yeah.
And that's what it's for. I think
exactly.
So the response that we give to that I give to most people is, hey, this is not a weight loss procedure.
Okay.
And I think that doesn't click as easy. So maybe I need to go into that more. Okay. See, I'm learning.
Okay. Well, sorry, that was my experience.
I think most people get it.
Just Scott doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's throwing Scott under the bus right now.
Daily.
Let's edit this whole part out, Scott.
So how's 4 days of 75 hard?
4 of 75 hard.
And he'll finish at New Year's Eve, right? New Year's Day?
It takes you right to New Year's Eve, yeah.
It's a bitch on day 9.
That's why I was asking about exercise, because I'm supposed to be doing it with him.
No, I'm done, man.
You went through the whole 7. You do look great, by the way.
I know, you really do.
I lost 55 pounds on 75
No way,
hard.
are you serious?
And I don't know what it was. I tried it almost a year ago. Didn't tell anybody. I was very quiet. I was like, I'm gonna try this, but in my head I was like, I'm not making it.
That's why you didn't tell anyone.
Oh, for sure.
No one to keep you accountable.
5 days in, drank. And was like, well, I'm done with this. And when I first looked at it, I thought that was going to be the hardest part for me, was the no drinking.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What was the hardest part?
A gallon of water a day.
I hate water.
I am a surgeon and scrubbed in
right
to surgeries all day.
To get that, that's hard.
A gallon of water is like, how many pee breaks would you have to take?
Oh, yeah. So, well, and that's like in surgery, that's kind of a thing. Like, you don't scrub out to pee. That's like almost like a mark of a man surgeon. Like I had my scrub
tech.
My
bladder is huge.
My scrub tech, her name's Tani. I'd like scrub out to go pee. She's like, are you freaking kidding me, you wuss? Shut up, Tani.
You just don't have a catheter, like the bag wrapped around your leg or anything?
Oh, you did?
I'm not telling you my tricks.
He went all in.
I did. Okay, for the record, I did not put the catheter in before surgery. So when I finally went in, I don't know what it was that like clicked, what the mindset was. I had gone through a breakup, and I had kind of like hit rock bottom almost.
It's the best way to start. And that's what we did too.
Dude, something in my mind was just like,
Enough's enough.
This is done.
Yeah.
And I immediately was posting about it, and I was posting about it. And it was funny because a lot of my friends were like, well, that's why you didn't pass it the first time. You weren't posting. You need that support. And for me, I was like, I appreciate the support and the accountability, but I'm only posting about this because I know it's done. There's zero way that I don't do this.
Yeah.
And the last week of it was kind of funny. Me and 2 buddies went to Norway. 3 buddies. There were 4 of us. And one of my friends had just started. It was like a week into it. Okay. And on travel days are the worst. So you really got to plan for a travel day. So I had done my indoor workout. He and I just busted out 45 minutes of walking at the airport with our bags on.
Oh, that's genius.
And we get to Norway. Our plane was late, so we had to jump right into a rental car with our other 2 buddies who were waiting for us and drive to an Airbnb that was like 5 hours away.
Oh my gosh.
So we roll into this Airbnb at 2 a.m. We're getting up to hike at 5 a.m. And my one buddy's like, I've already failed. Like, I'm going to bed, and I didn't make it, and I'll start over after the trip. And I'm like, dude, you're a week in. That's cool. I'm day 71 here.
That's not just gonna start over.
This is not happening.
Yeah.
So I haven't done an outdoor workout, so I just marched through the woods of Norway.
That's a commitment right there.
2 a.m. to do your outdoor workout.
To
wake up at 5 to go and
See,
hike.
I want that mentality.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's what I'm at. Like, I don't know what that switch was. Like, where all of a sudden I was just like, no, it's done.
Yeah.
You know what? And
well, you already said you hit your rock bottom.
Yeah.
I think that's it, right? You hit a point where you're just like,
where it's just like, okay, you know what? So many things in my life are like,
you can control.
Sucks right now, but these 75 days, I can do this, and I will do this.
Yeah, I do like that. And then, so since then, I think the most important thing from that has been, I was able to do it. Really cool. And I look back on that as a really big point of pride in my life.
Yeah.
But now it's all been about maintenance. And that, I think, is what, so a lot of people will shit on the 75 hard program because they're like, anybody can do anything for 75 days. And it doesn't really teach you how to maintain. Well, the whole point of the thing is to teach you habits.
Good habits.
And to teach you ways to maintain. So one of my workouts every day on that was a 45-minute walk in the morning. I just got up 45 minutes earlier than I needed to, walked outside, was done with my outdoor workout. And I still do that every day.
Oh, really?
Awesome. Every day. And it's like that's my meditation every morning.
That's great.
That is great.
You're going to crush this, dude. I'm excited for you.
I'm so what?
Well, that's why I'm like,
I know what's up with day 9 because I'm on 4. What happens on day 9? You said day 9. So
day 9, I think, is just like when you realize
you're like, what am I doing?
Well, because there's no breaks. You know?
Oh, that's right. There's no weekends.
Yeah, that's
it's not like
true.
going on a weekend. Day 9 is just kind of where you're like, God, I've done this twice a day, every day. There's 60 some odd days left.
I don't know why I said I was going to do it with you and commit to it right before I do surgery. I can't exercise that.
You can't do that. Come on.
You can't.
I know, but I'm ready.
You made it
I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I need to do something with you. We looked so good after our divorces. We were so hot. When we met, we were so in shape. Oh my gosh.
So my divorce diet was completely opposite.
Oh, you gained.
Oh, I'm a depressive eater.
Okay.
See, we're
opposite.
Starvers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't eat. I just am so anxious. My stomach hurts. I can't eat anything.
Yeah. When I got divorced, so I was in Texas, and I still had 2 years of residency left, and she moved here to Utah with the 2 kids, and so I'm still in Texas. And when you get divorced, especially in like a university residency setting where everybody's kind of like the married people hang out, the single people hang out. Well, you get divorced, the married people don't want to hang with you anymore. So now you're weird and different. And the single people, they've never hung out with you, so they don't know what to do with you. So you're just alone. And this sounds really sad. I guess it was really sad, but like my weekends, if I wasn't on call, Friday night hit Little Caesars, get a big pizza, some crazy bread, 6-pack of beer,
and eat the whole thing.
2 a.m. everything was gone. And I'm like crying on my couch.
He's definitely done that too, though.
He's like speaking to me right there. Like, I have done that.
And luckily you come out of that place. I kind of look back at those days and kind of laugh, but I'm really grateful for them too.
Yeah.
Like you learn a lot about yourself 8 slices of pizza in and 4 beers by yourself.
Who you don't want to be.
Crumbs all over.
Oh my gosh. That's so true.
Your t-shirt as a napkin.
I know. Scott and I say, like, if we had met before, like prior to, like if we had never been married before, gone through divorces, we wouldn't have lasted. We just learned so much through our divorces and through through everything to meet up. We're in a perfect spot in our lives where we both are aligned and want the same thing, but we were fiery.
I was immature. I got married way young. I had to work through a lot of personal issues.
Well, so did I.
Personal issues, but
how did you guys meet?
How did we meet?
Well, if you ask him, it's an elaborate story of him saving my life. But in reality, we met on a blind date.
Set up on a blind date by one of my ex's best friends.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You guys both have a good relationship with your exes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
We do. I actually really like his ex-wife.
Yes, she does.
I love it.
Yeah, and he gets along great with mine.
Everybody's local.
We're within like 20 minutes of each other, and we're 7 years out. I am. He's further out of his divorce, so there's just nothing to have to fight about anymore.
So he says we both have the same goals. Like, tell me what that looks like.
Family.
This is really for me. I mean,
our singles together, like when we met, like as far as that goes.
Yeah, when so you had said, I don't know, we'll replay the tape, but
yeah,
you had said
we were aligned.
You guys were aligned. You had the same goals in mind, and that's what really helped.
We just had both
keep you together. We
had both come from relationships where we sacrificed kind of like who we actually were. We weren't appreciated. I'm not going to say allowed, because being allowed to be who you are, you are who you are. But we kind of suppressed who we were to fit into a certain relationship. And for me, it was freeing to meet somebody who allowed me to be who I am. I just
don't judge them.
Yeah, I know for a fact I wouldn't have the platform on social media I have, because that's me expressing myself in just the most free, genuine, 100% like me. That's me. And it's because you've allowed me to be me. And
same.
Like when she, I know her one of her big things was like, you have to like to travel.
Yes.
We're going to travel.
That was very important to me.
I was like, awesome. Let's freaking go. We'll go wherever. And we've instilled that into our kids. And so it's just meeting that one person who allows you to be 100% fully yourself and loves you for it and appreciates you for it. And I'm getting chills. I freaking hit the jackpot on my 3rd try.
Yeah, I didn't know if you knew that. He's been married twice before.
I think I did, but the podcast now knows.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Divorced twice.
Which I didn't find out till our first date. The girl that set us up didn't tell me, which I didn't care at all. My dad just got remarried this past weekend for his 3rd time. The second one he was just really embarrassed about because he never went into it. I just would never judge somebody for that.
Yeah.
And so when he told me, I just was like, oh, like it didn't bother me at all.
And that was a breath of fresh air. You go on like a first date with somebody. In my mind, I'm like, okay, what baggage?
Well, because I brought my own, so I was worried about telling you some things too.
Like, okay, here's what I've got to throw out there. So, because I don't want to waste her time. I know, like, we're both in a time, like, we just don't want to waste time.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I'm living at my sister's.
Living at my dad's.
I've got debt. I'm twice divorced. I've got 2 baby moms.
You didn't tell me about your debt on the first date, by the way.
that one I saved. You can't do. I can't hit it.
You saved until I already loved you.
I'm just going to slide this bill right here.
Yeah.
By the way,
It's taken care of now.
how do you feel about this number? Oh, and it's a negative.
I cared more about that than you being married twice. For me personally, I care more about that.
So one of my very, very first dates after my divorce was went out and had drinks with this girl, and I'm like, hadn't been on a date in 10 years.
Yeah.
Scared as hell.
Oh my gosh, it's so scary.
And and she had just gone through a divorce as well. She didn't have kids. I had kids. And I was just like, I've always kind of been open book, like heart on my sleeve, open book. Don't give a shit if you don't like who I am.
Same.
Or this is who I'm. My staff knows more. I guarantee you, I have staff that know more about me than they know about their own spouses.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sounds like me.
And so I go on this date with this girl, and it's just like word vomit. And here's what I did to her, and here's what she did to me, and this is why we're divorced.
You overshared a little.
Oh my goodness! So I then thought the date went great. And a couple days go by, because of course, like, you know, my buddies were like, okay, you haven't been on a date in a long time. Don't just freak her out. So give it a couple days, then text.
I'll give you the 3 day.
Yeah.
Week 3 days.
And I'm like, reach out. I'm like, hey, let's go again. She's like, yeah, I'm just not really interested. You've got a lot going on, and I just don't know if I can deal with that.
That's amazing.
I love it because, hey, now you know.
Yeah.
Like it was quick. All right, here's everything that I am and everything that I've been, and oh no, that's too much. All right, thanks.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, but
I didn't waste my time on that one.
Yeah. Well, he said like 3 words on our first date, so I'm like nervous. You. I don't think I overshared. Like, I didn't tell you too much. I just talked a lot because when I get nervous, I talk. And it was my first date after my divorce, and I ended up marrying him. So I only went on one date after. And I worried about that.
I couldn't go on another date if my first date was with this guy.
I know, right?
Come on.
I was like, he's tall. And he's tall.
That was like the selling point.
You were tall. Really, though, because I did not want to date again, like for a long time. And then Megan, who set us up, was like, he's 6'7". I'm like, what? Wait, what? And then even then I was like, nah, I'm not ready. But then a few months later, I was like, what was his Instagram? Let me stalk him a little bit. Yeah, it's like, he'll do.
I get nervous and I don't talk, and she gets nervous and talks. So it was perfect. I just sat there and ate my full plate of food, and she talked my ear off. It was great.
And then he expected a kiss at the end. Like,
he
had barely said 2 words. I don't even know you.
I was sitting
He didn't try.
How did that work out? Was he like, I brought this stepping stool because I
that was another thing. I was like, and we're at Gateway. We were at City Creek. In front of people. You really thought I'd kiss you?
Yeah.
Nah. Second date.
It took
I
all
reserved
the way
that
to
for the second date.
So she really held it.
Well, okay, so I didn't go on a date he was my first date, but I had hung out with somebody and I kissed him and it was so bad. I'm like, dude, no wonder you're divorced. Like, if you are kissed like that, you have no business being.
Yeah, you can't be a bad kisser.
Yeah. So I was worried to kiss him because I didn't.
You got trained?
Oh, I was such a bad kisser. Like,
babe, please don't admit that because I'm embarrassed for you.
I'm embarrassed for me looking back on just.
And then someone kissed you like that, and then you were like, "Oh wait, I don't like that."
That's what happened. Someone kissed me the way I kissed, and I was like, "Oh, this is bad."
I'm so glad you learned before, because that would have been like a definite no for me.
I think my favorite part of this podcast is like every 5 minutes, Scott raises his hand. I'm going to confess.
Telling on myself again.
I didn't take lipo serious and I ate everything. I'm a bad kisser. I have debt and had.
Wow. I didn't like both.
That about wraps up the podcast perfectly.
Talk about oversharing.
I know, babe. I was a little worried.
Since I know you guys have some stuff today, so but I want to hear kind of where you guys are both going now with life, because I mean, what a cool story. Blended family, 5 years. I mean, I came in thinking, we'll talk about their surgery. We'll do some TikTok stuff. Honestly, like the family stuff is the most cool thing to me, or interesting thing to me.
Yeah, we had no idea where this was going to go, but we feel so comfortable talking to you that we're friends. So now you know a lot about us.
Where does life go now for you guys?
Babe, I'll let you answer that. You've got some cool things coming up.
I can't really talk about it.
She's got some really cool things.
I know she does.
But we're actually celebrating our 5th anniversary next month. I'm taking an injection course in Zurich.
Love it.
So we're going to Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. Hopefully just traveling a lot more. What do you got going on, babe?
Yeah, where does TikTok stardom take you?
So
and winning a tough as nails competition.
Yeah, there's so many lanes that I could take, but what I think I'm passionate about and what I want to do is I do want to get into acting and find more roles, and who knows? It's honestly, I've talked about it a lot and I have not taken one step towards it because I'm terrified.
That means it's the right thing then.
Oh,
I don't know. I think the more as you get more scared or terrified about something, I think that's kind of your body and the universe saying, "Oh, this is the right direction."
Okay, I got to take a step.
Jump in, man.
All right, Let's go. Yeah, that's where I'm going to go.
I love it. Thank you guys for coming on. It was a ton of fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And for my future 20 more surgeries with you.
Perfect. Clients for life. Scott needs more debt. Thank you so much for listening to The Naked Patient Beyond the Operating Room. I'm Dr. Nicholas Howland. Please remember that every patient who appears on this podcast has consented to discuss their story and their surgery on the podcast. That way we remain HIPAA compliant. This is a free podcast. The best thing that you can do for us is to leave us a review online. Let us know what you liked. Let us know what you'd like to hear. Let us know how we can improve. If you are curious about anything related to plastic surgery, you can reach out to me on Instagram at Dr. Nicholas Howland, and I typically respond there, or you can reach us at the office at 801-571-2020, or we have an online form you can fill out at the website, www.howlandplasticsurgery.com. Any of our coordinators would be happy to help you. Thanks again for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Naked Patient Podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode. Till next time.